Hey everybody, it's John Love. I'm a single dad. Vinny and Cece are both asleep. It's a quiet night. It's been good. Both getting over a cold, but they're almost there. Always throws a big upset whenever they get sick. Today's question is, how do you deal with disappointment? And this is a really tough one for me because I feel like it's been nonstop disappointment um, since we decided to get divorced, my ex and I. And I feel like everything I've tried to do and tried to get ahead in has ultimately been shot down. It's been messed up. It's been canceled. It's broken down. Doesn't matter what it is. I've just had a lot of things go wrong. And I'm hoping that one day something will go right. At this point in time, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff is on the table that I'm not sure how it's going to play out. And it feels like one thing after another is just not going as it's supposed to. It's not going as planned. It's not going like it's supposed to. It's not going like I thought it would in my head. And that leads to a lot of disappointment. And I try and handle that by chatting with friends, chatting with family. I was watching a movie tonight and it said that no matter how strong you think you are, everybody needs someone. But I find that to be one of the hardest things to deal with because I've outright asked for help and I haven't gotten it. And that leads to even more disappointment when you know that you need someone and you've asked family or friends for help and they can't deliver or they don't want to deliver. And that really kills me inside. So how do I deal with that disappointment? That's a tough question. I deal with that disappointment. First of all, I try and distance myself as much as I can in the small space of one house from the kids while also giving them what they need. And that's pretty tough. Today in particular was a day of very, very big disappointment. It's a long story. I won't get into that. But what I will say is that today was a very disappointing day and it really upset how I felt. And I picked up the kids from school and I just really didn't want to deal with them. So what I did do is I brought them home and I immediately went and I started getting dinner ready and I let the kids play by themselves and then we ate dinner together and I really didn't want to deal with anything, so I just put some TV on in the background and they focused on that and I just got to be in my own little world. And then I let them play for a little bit. Then I cleaned up the house. And that always makes me feel a little bit better when everything's clean and organized. Then I took them, I gave them their showers. I let them play again by themselves. And I just distanced myself. And after that, I took them and I gave them their milk before bed and gave them a big hug. And now I get to relax a little bit. So I think the biggest thing you can do is just give yourself your own space. And for someone like me, and I'm sure other people are in the same situation, the kids are very young. Everything they do requires me to help, whether it's food, whether it's showers, whether it's putting on clothes, whether it's playing with toys. Sometimes even they mess up and they get frustrated and they need me to help them. And that's a lot of responsibility. And when you're dealing with your own emotions, it's really tough to deal with. So I try and make sure that whatever they are doing is something that they can do by themselves. So they have certain toys that just work better if they do it by themselves. And they have certain things they can do that just work better by themselves as opposed to something I need to get involved with. Like Vinny really likes puzzles. And as he's getting older, he likes to do really difficult puzzles, but he can't do a lot of them by himself. So today would not have been a good day for me to push that on him, or even if he wanted to do it and initiated it, I would have said, no, today's not a good day for puzzles because I know you're going to get frustrated And I just don't have the patience for that. And I'm very outright and I'm very upfront with him, both my kids. I told them when I picked them up, I'm not in a good mood. So give me a break. Please just give me my space. And they were really good about it today, but they're not always good about it. Sometimes they're really in my face. Sometimes they seem to create problems that didn't exist beforehand. So dealing with disappointment is always something that's going to happen as a single parent. I think it happens to everyone regardless, but I think the lack of support makes it feel much worse as a single parent, because I know that when I was married or when I was single without kids, yeah, there was lots of disappointments, but when I was single without kids, I could just go meet up with friends, have some beers, and it didn't feel so bad. And when I was married, I could take my disappointments home. I could talk about them. I could have someone distract me from them. There was a lot of ways to get over it very quickly. But as someone who doesn't have a lot of family around, and I know I mentioned I've visited my family, but we've been apart for many years, and the relationship is not quite what I would expect from family. And I love my family and I think they're great, but it's not everything I expected from when I left Taiwan after not seeing anybody for 10 years to coming back here. I had high expectations, and that was another thing that was very disappointing to me. And there's just no support, and that really sucks. So I just try and give myself as much space as I can. Once the kids are in bed, I sit down, I have a couple beers, and I try and figure out what's next. Am I gonna sulk in this for a long time? Can I fix it? Can I change it? And I try and come up with a solution. I think that's a male way of thinking to begin with. We're always looking for solutions. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I've just been told that in the past. The males always look for solutions and they try and fix the problem. They don't want to think about the actual feelings that are involved. And I do agree with that. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a great solution for every problem, and sometimes we do have to deal with that. So I'll ask this again. If you have a really disappointing thing, and I'm not talking about like, you ask someone on a date and you got rejected sort of disappointment. I'm talking about big disappointments that upset your entire world. How do you handle those? It's a tough one. Thanks for listening, and I am looking forward to hearing some advice from you guys too.